Now we are left with one question. Everything is clear. One question is there that if this is losing the electrons in this way, this also would become strongly reduced, not reduced, it would become oxidized and it loses its electrons. It is in desperate need of electrons, otherwise this particular antenna molecules and this pigment system that we are having, photosynthetic unit we call it PSU. This photosynthetic unit is losing its electrons from the antenna molecules, giving the energy to this core reaction center. This reaction center is bound to lose its electrons, and after some time there would be desiccation. Okay, this would lose its composition because it is losing electrons one by one. So in order to keep that electron deficiency at bay, what happens is this has to be supplied by electrons, and here in comes the water in scenario. This is the role of water in photosynthesis, that this water molecule breaks up. As soon as there is deficiency of this particular 2 electrons getting risen, we take 2 electrons because we consider one molecule of water. One molecule of water is to be considered, that's why we have taken into account 2 electrons, so that it is easier to understand. Because as the molecule of water would break down, this would break down into 2 protons and a nascent oxygen, and in return that there would also be formation of 2 electrons that would be released, and those 2 electrons released from the water molecule would go to the antenna molecule, and the deficiency that was created by the excitation of electron would be fulfilled. Similarly, what about this system? This also has given its electrons, its deficiency is met by the electron that came from photosystem 2. I am sorry, it is not photosystem 2, it is photosystem 1. Please remember, this is photosystem 2 and that is photosystem 1. In the cyclic photophosphorylation, when the electrons got excited, they came back to the same center. Okay, the electron deficiency was met over here. Over here, the electron is getting fixed to reducing power. So how does this region compensate with that electron loss? It is very clear that the water molecule gets broken down and it supplies the electron deficiency whatever is required, and we study it in terms of 2 electrons, and this process is known as splitting of water. As we had talked about in the beginning, that photosynthesis is not just that much simple process where we have that the glucose molecule would be formed in a simple way, that carbon would lose its oxygen and water would come and join. It's not like that. It's in a way this water is splitting. The oxygen that is released into the atmosphere by the process of photosynthesis is as a result of splitting of water. So here the statement lies correct, where we have studied that water is the supplier of the electrons. Okay, it is the splitting of water, or rather we would say that it is the water which is responsible for the reduction of carbon dioxide. A suitable agent comes and reduces the carbon dioxide. Remember the statement we have studied while we were seeing how chronologically we arrived to a good equation of photosynthesis. So it stands correct over here that it is the water which gives the protons for the generation of glucose. Don't get confused that way. Simply remember that the oxygen that is released into the atmosphere, that is as a result of splitting of water. So this is all about the photochemical phase of photosynthesis, where you are now quite aware that what is the role of water, what is the role of photosystems and pigment units that we had talked about, how the electron starts from where and where it reaches, and what do we have as an outcome in the end. Of course, it is ATP and NADPH, and in the next lessons we are going to study where these ATPs and NADPH would be used, because till now we haven't talked even a bit about the formation of glucose. Carbon dioxide is nowhere in the scene. So that is why this is the photochemical phase, where simply chemical bonds are formed and the photo part, that is the light part, has played its role in the formation of chemical bonds.